Namaste. Students, today we are going to learn one of the easiest chapters in accounts, joint venture accounts. So, what is a joint venture? A joint venture is a business arrangement in which two or more parties agree to pool their resources for the purpose of accomplishing a particular venture or business activity. Here what happens? So it is a business arrangement, joint venture. You're doing something great. There are two or more parties. Okay. So what they do? They pool their resources. So whatever they have, the capital, in a sense, cash, goods, everything they organize for the purpose of accomplishing a particular venture. So for the purpose of some venture, some new venture, new activity, right? So they share the profits and losses at an agreed ratio. There is a ratio. The persons who form the joint ventures are known as co-ventures. Okay, if there are three co-ventures are there, like that. So what is the condition? There should be minimum two people in the joint venture and there is no limit, no upper limit. So like if people wants to join, they can join, no problem. Here, very interesting things is that there is no firm name. For joint venture, there is no firm name. Usually, it's similar to partnership, but it is for a temporary basis. Okay, and there is no firm name. It is formed for some specific purpose. So there is some specific purpose. For that purpose, it is formed, and it ceases to exist on the completion of that venture. So the joint venture will come to an end when that venture is completed. So it's also known as temporary partnership. Okay. So we have to maintain the books of accounts on the basis of this. It is for only a period of time, short period of time. But it may take more years if the co-venturers agree to continue it. And very interesting thing here, the accounts are maintained on the cash basis, not accrual basis. Okay, so as the cash comes and as the cash goes, we are making the entry. No outstanding, all those things, prepaid, nothing is there. See, the practical example of joint ventures. BMW and Toyota cooperate in a research into hydrogen fuel cells. Okay, the car manufacturing companies. Google and NASA developing Google Earth. So two companies come together and they do it. Okay, in a international what to say point of view, it is very important joint venture. But in our case, we are studying the basics. So when two or more people can join together for some specific purpose. So methods of recording joint venture transactions. Here there are four methods. Okay. The first three methods are very simple. See, one of the co-venturers is appointed to manage the joint venture. So one person is managing everything. He's writing all those expenses, income, everything. Here, second one, each co-venture records all the joint venture transaction in his book. So everyone is recording all the transactions. Third one, each co-venture records only the joint venture transactions effected by him in his books. So everyone is writing only his transactions. Fourth one, recording of joint venture transactions in a separate book of accounts or a common book with joint bank account. It is a systematic thing, right? So it is everything, whatever is related to joint venture is maintained in a separate set of book, not maintained by a single person. So the fourth method we are going to study. Clear? Recording of joint venture transactions in a separate book of accounts. Okay, the first entry, journal entry. When the venturers introduce the capital, right? When capital is introduced, what happens? Cash comes in. Who gives it? The proprietor gives, right? Cash account debtor to capital account. You know that. Same thing here. Here cash comes in, but we are not writing cash. Everything we are putting in a bank account. So bank account, joint bank account debtor. Two, who gives out the benefit? Who gave the capital? Venturer. So when each venturer introduces the capital, joint bank account debtor to venturer's account. Clear? Second one, when goods are purchased for cash. So goods are purchased. I told you there is no cash transaction. So we have to do everything with the bank account. And bank account is known as joint bank account. It is joint bank account, not a single bank account. Okay, when goods are purchased, what happens? Here goods come in. Okay, cash is going out. Right? Usually what is the transaction? Purchases account debtor to cash or bank. But here we are not writing goods, purchases, nothing. Whatever we are buying, so we have to write joint venture account only. So joint venture account debtor, so we purchase of goods to cash or bank to joint bank account. Clear? Goods come in. So for goods we are giving the name joint venture only. For goods, all the expenses, we are not writing each expense and each good name, each product name. We are writing for joint venture. Overall it is for joint venture, right? So joint venture account debtor to joint bank account. Cost of goods purchased. Third one, when goods are purchased on credit. So usually what happens here, purchases account debtor to your supplier's account you are writing. Here purchases, I told you. Instead of purchases, you have to write joint venture account. So joint venture account debtor to supplier's account. When the supplier is paid, who is receiving the money? Supplier. Money is going out, right? So bank account should be credited. Supplier's account debtor to joint bank account. Clear? When any venturer supplies or purchases goods for joint venture. Okay, here what happens is the venturer brings the goods or he purchases the goods. So what happens? Goods comes in. So joint venture account. Overall we have to give joint venture. Two, who is the giver of benefit? Venturer. Who gets the goods? You have to write his name. So joint venture receives it. Receives the goods, right? Joint venture account debtor to venturer's account. When expenses are paid out of joint bank account, when expenses are paid, usually what we do? Expenses account debtor to cash account, cash or bank. But here I told you, we are not writing the name expenses. It is for joint venture. So we have to write joint venture account. Joint venture account debtor to joint bank account. Cash is going out. When joint bank account is credited, bank account is credited, that means what? Cash is going out. Correct? So joint venture account debtor to joint bank account. Next one. When any venturer incurs expenses on joint venture. So the expenses are paid by a venturer, a person, partner, a kind of partnership. Here what happens? Who is paying? Venturer is paying. So he is a giver of benefit. His account should be credited. Okay. Who is getting benefit? Whose sake he paid? Joint venture account. So when the expenses are incurred by the venturer, it is paid. So what is the entry? Joint venture account debtor to venturer's account. Next, when goods are sold for cash. So when goods are sold for cash, what happens? What is the entry? Cash or bank account debtor to sales account, right? You are selling. But here what happens? The same way. Cash or bank. Bank is the receiver. Right? Joint bank account debtor. Cash is coming in. Okay. Bank should be debited. Two, joint venture account. Sales. We are not writing purchases. We are not writing sales. Instead of that, we are writing joint venture account. So joint bank account debtor to joint venture account. When goods are sold on credit. So usually what happens? Credit. Receiver of benefit is the purchaser, right? Purchaser account debtor to sales account we write. But here what we are supposed to write? Same thing. Purchaser or debtors account debtor to joint venture account. We are not writing sales. Then When cash or bill is received from debtor. When cash is received, what is the entry? Cash account debtor to debtors account. Same thing. Here we are not writing cash, but joint bank account. Joint bank account debtor to debtors account. If bill is received, bills receivable account debtor to debtors account. Clear? The next one. When the bill received from the debtor is discounted. So you know what is that usually? Bill discounting transaction. Cash or bank account debtor, discount account debtor, two bills receivable. Right? Here also same thing. Cash or bank, instead of that, you have to write joint bank account debtor, discount account debtor, two bills receivable. Discount is debited because it is expense. Nominal account, you know that. When the discounting charge is transferred to the joint venture account, so their discount was debited, right? It should be transferred to joint venture, so it should be credited. That means you are cancelling the discount and you are writing for joint venture account. So when transferring the discounting charge, joint venture account debtor to discount account. Next, when any venturer takes over the goods. Okay. So when goods are taken over by the venturer, so venturer is the receiver of benefit. Venturer's account debtor to goods are going out. For goods, what is the name? Joint venture account. Then, when commission is payable to any venture. So commission, I told you, we are not writing the expenses name. We are writing joint venture. So usually what is the entry? Commission account debtor to payable. It is due. Venturer's account. But here, instead of commission, we have to write joint venture account debtor to concerned venturer's account. Next, when the joint venture account is balanced and the profit and losses are distributed among the venturers. In case of profit, okay, so you can remember how the joint venture account will be. So joint venture account, here there is the debit, this is the debit side and this is the credit side. Right? If there is a profit, if it is a joint venture account, then here the balancing figure will be like this 2. Right? So credit side will be more. Credit side means what? Credit side, if credit side is more, that means the sales and all the income is more. Debit side indicates expenses. Right? When credit side is more, the balancing figure will be on the debit side. So this is the profit. Correct. That means what happened here? Joint venture account debtor to venturer's account. Same thing. Joint venture account debtor to each venturer's account. In the case of loss, reverse entry. Venturer's account debtor to joint venture account. When the final balance is received from the venture, final balance, joint bank account debtor to each venturer's account. Final balance is received. For example, if a joint venturer, Mr. A, he has taken the goods worth rupees 30,000 and the profit which he gets, his share is 20,000. That means what? He has to pay the joint venture. Right? So the final balance is received from A. So bank account debtor, we are receiving that 10,000, right? Bank account debtor to A's account, like that. When the final balance is paid to the venturer, so after calculating all the expenses, if we have to pay Mr. B, then B is account debtor to bank account because B is the receiver and cash is going out, right? So if we are paying venturer's account debtor to joint bank, if we are receiving from the venturer, joint bank account debtor to venturer's account. Now there are certain special entries. So if there is interest, sometimes in the advanced problem they will ask interest on joint venture transaction. If the joint venture agree to charge the interest on the amounts invested by them or amount received by them from the joint venture, then we have to take into consideration this. If the net interest is due to any venturer, that means if the joint venture agreement has to pay the interest, right? But it is due, not yet paid. When interest is due, usually the beneficiary's name should be credited because it is due, right? Still we haven't paid. So joint venture account debtor to venturer's account when interest is due. If the interest, if the net interest is due from any venturer, that means if he has to pay the interest, if he has withdrawn the money from a joint venture account and he has to pay the interest, then what happens? Our joint venture account should be credited. He is in the beneficiary stage because he hasn't yet paid the interest. So venturer's account debtor to joint venture account. Okay, treatment of unsold stock. If the joint venturers intend to close the books of account before the completion of joint venture, then unsold stock on the date of closing books of accounts should be valued and recorded as follows. So you know closing stock. If they want to close the business, so usually where does the closing stock appear? On the credit side, right? Here comes opening stock, purchases, everything comes here. Closing stock will be on the credit side. That means what? Closing stock account debtor to joint venture. The same thing. Closing stock means here joint venture stock account debtor to joint venture account. Clear? Then, if the co-ventures intend to close the joint venture before all the goods are sold and close the books of account on the closing of the joint venture, the unsold stock may be recorded as follows. So, if there is any unsold stock, if it is taken over by one or more venturers at an agreed value, then who receives the benefit? Venturer. What goes out? Stock. Right? So venture is account debtor to, instead of stock, we are writing joint venture account. If the unsold stock is not taken over by any partner in the sense venturer, then it is distributed among all the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So what is the entry? Who is receiving now? All the venturers are receiving. So all the venturers account debtor to joint venture account. Goods are going out. Goods name you have to write as joint venture account. Then, if there is shares and debentures received by joint venturers as a contract price for the construction work done, in the case of construction joint ventures. When shares or debentures, there are two methods, okay. The first method, when shares or debentures are received as a contract price. Okay. So, we are receiving the shares for our work, right? So, shares or debentures come in. Shares or debentures account debtor to joint venture account for our joint venture. When shares and debentures are sold for cash. Okay, when it is sold, what happens? Our bank account receives the money. Joint bank account debtor, shares, debentures goes out to shares or debentures account. Then, when shares or debentures are taken over by any venturers, if it is taken over by venturer, concerned venturer's account debtor to shares or debentures account. So if it is taken over by a particular person, Mr. A's account debtor to shares or debentures going out. For profit or loss on sale of shares or debentures, if there is profit in the sale of debentures, then shares or debenture account debtor to joint venture account. If there is profit, joint venture should be credited because all the income and gain should be credited, right? If there is profit, joint venture should be credited and shares and debentures are debited. If there is loss, joint venture account debtor to shares or debentures account. This is the first method. Second method for this shares and debentures. Under this method, no entry is passed when the shares or debentures are received. For receiving the shares or debentures, there is no entry, but an entry is passed on the sale of shares or debentures. Okay, when there is sale of shares or debentures. So, what is the entry? Joint bank account debtor to joint ventures account. Same thing for the sale. For the sale, we are receiving the cash, and joint venture account should be debited. If ventures are taken over, shares or debentures. If they are taken over, ventures account debit to joint venture account. Clear? Yes. So it's not difficult. It is very easy. While doing the problem, you'll understand each and everything. But have a look at it. Why it should be debited? Why it should be credited? Just have a look at it. While doing the problem, you'll understand. Okay. Thank you.